Welcome to Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel. Today, I wanted to try something a little different. I just got a new Leuchtturm big bullet book that's really pretty, and I like it already a lot, and I want to use it to make something. So I thought it'd be fun to go through the process of making a Shadowdark dungeon. So in the Shadowdark rulebook on page 130, there's the Shadowdark maps spread. And this kind of covers like everything you need to make like a dungeon, like a Shadowdark dungeon. And then a couple pages before that, actually, I think it's on 122, 123, you've got your adventure generator and your adventure site name generator. And I think we might use those as well, real quick. So, but let's start with the map, and then we'll make the name after we've got the map and see if it kind of works for the map we've got. So, yeah, let's give it a try. So I'm going to keep it open here, and we're just going to try rolling a d6 to see what our site size is. We got a 2, so it's a small site, which means we only need 5 dice, which means I get to use all my stone dice. And then we get them all ready, and we drop them on the table, and that's our rooms. So what I like to do is put like 0 here, give a little bit of space, so we'll say 2 is here, and we'll put our 5 here, and we'll put our 3 over here, and we'll put our 1 over here. Okay. And we roll a d6 to determine the site type. So this is a cave. So this should be able to be kind of natural here. So we're going to come in with a kind of natural shape here. And we'll bring it down to about the width we would want. And we'll go ahead and expand out for 5 here. And we'll kind of cycle back a little bit. And I think, let's see here, 3 is a trap. So I feel like maybe, 2 is empty. We've got 2 empty rooms in here, which feels kind of bad, man. So we're going to try making this something in between. What we'll do is we'll just put a little void space here that be a secret kind of way through. So you can see here we've got we've got our room types here as D10. So this is an empty room. 5 is a solo monster. 3 is a trap. 2 is an empty room. And then 0 is a boss monster. So we're just going to go ahead and roll for some of the features of these. So I think there's nothing described for empty. So we'll just roll for the next one, which is solo monster. So we rolled a 5 and a 2, which is a clever brute. So I'm actually just going to number these real quick so I've got a place to write down some notes. And we're just going to do it in order here. This is room 3. This is room 4. And this will be room 5. And so when we get to room 1, we'll just put clever brute here. Like that. And then room 3 is a trap. So let's roll on the traps here. 1 and 2. So that's for room... Oh, sorry. You know what? This is going to be room 2, not room 3. then for room, I'm going to give a little room there. So room 3 is going to be crude, toxic, which I kind of love. And then room 4 is our boss monster. So let's roll for the details of the boss monster as a d6. We rolled a 6. Supreme Sorcerer. Why do I always get awesome sorcerers in the back of caves? Like, what are these sorcerers doing with their lives that they're like, I'm going to go live in a cave? Supreme magical power. No apartment for me. No creature comforts, no Uber Eats. I'll live in a cave. With the bugbears and the creatures. Why not? So weird. Alright, and then room 5 is also empty, so we probably aren't going to need much for that, but we'll just put a little space here for each of these. Yeah, let's go ahead and kind of figure out, now that we've got our little cave here, we need the danger level. So the danger level of this is unsafe, which is not that big of a deal. That's kind of the... unsafe is the safest kind of cave you can be in, really. I think that's true in life as well, right? Like, if you're in a cave, you're probably not perfectly safe. Alright, cool. So let's go to the adventure name generator and adventure site generator. And we'll roll a couple of d20s here. Let me get you d20. Alright, so we need to roll 3 times. So we got an 8, and a 15. So it's Spy on the Demon of the Royal Knights. That seems weird. But maybe it could make sense. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to write the numbers down and deal with the writing of text later. So we got 8, and 15. And then let's do the adventuring site name. So we got an 11, 16, and a 14. And let's see what we got here. Citadel of the Slumbering Ravine. That doesn't make any sense, so we're not going to use that. And we're going to scramble. So we're going to see, is there any of these the cave? So there's Isle of the and Temple of the, or Citadel of the. So I think out of the 3 of these, I'd prefer Isle of the. So we'll go Isle of the. So that's our 16 gone. And then we'll check our 11. So Shimmering or Blighted is pretty cool. I think either of those could work. So let's check the next one. So Ravine or Lands. I feel like this isn't... Oh, maybe this is a ravine. Maybe this isn't really a cave per se. Maybe it's like a ravine. That could be interesting. What's the alternative here? Is the Blighted Lands? Isle of the Blighted Lands? I guess that could work. Let's go with Shimmering Ravine. Isle of the Shimmering Ravine. What makes it shimmer? I hear you ask. Obviously, it's the Supreme Sorcerer at the end of the dungeon. He be shimmerin'. I live in a cave and I shimmer. It's what I do. Cool. Okay, so that kind of kicks us off and gets us started with what is going on in this dungeon. And I think that kind of it's pretty much where the help from this book kind of stops. So as you can see, this isn't really much of a dungeon, but it's got the stuff you need to know in it. Now, the important next step for me is what is this Supreme Sorcerer and what is this Clever Brute, right. So to find out, we kind of need to look at. Got the new book from Night Noon Games. Thanks, by the way, Mike Patlock, who made that Kickstarter for the how to convert Shadowdark monsters. It's a cool book. I will do a flip through review of it pretty soon, sooner than I probably should. I'd like to use it a bunch first. But let's figure out our clever brute, and I think with unsafe, I'm feeling like it's maybe not that big of a guy. But we are supposed to. Well, I guess we've got our. We could still do our. Let's figure out the actual adventure. What the adventure details are, because I feel like that's going to help us here. So, 8, 8, 15 means we've got double eights. So I think Demon in the King's Court is probably better than Spy on the Demon of the Royal Knights. But that means it's Pacify the Demon in the King's Court, or it could be Spy on the Relic in the King's Court, or yeah, I guess Pacify the Demon in the King's Court. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna re-roll. I'm not married to these numbers. They kind of suck. Get out of here. I want a divorce. I want a number divorce. 18, 17, 11. Okay. Now we're talking. We got a couple of things going on here. So, escape the merchant blackmailing the baron. That's dumb. Escort the or steal the. I like steal the. I like stealing from baddies. What's 11 here? Steal the hostage. Blackmailing the baron. That doesn't make any sense either. I'm getting pretty unlucky with these rolls. It could be steal the witch in the Mirkwood. That also sounds kind of dumb. Let's scratch that. Let's go. We're getting triple married. I don't want a 17. Okay, 7's good. Let's start with 7. Let's see what we get for a 7. We got a 16. And we got a 12. Okay, let's see what these numbers do. Defeat the high priest hiding in the slums. Could kind of work. What if we swap these? Defeat the thief. Sacrificing innocents. Well, kind of like that. Or, what happens if it's... Gosh, did I roll a 12? I rolled a 12. Is it 12? Imprison the... Okay, could be imprison the high priest. Imprison the killer. Sacrificing innocents. Oh, I love that. Yeah, let's do that. Imprison the killer. Sacking innocents. Cool. All right, so we've got, he's a sacrificer nerd. And we should find out if there's any cool monsters that do, like, sacrifice moves and are spellcasters. You know, a Sphinx is a spellcaster. It's also level 9. But I do like the idea that there's like a Sphinx on an island with a shimmering ravine where like the Sphinx is like in the ravine and like it's gone a bit batshit and like people go to like ask it for oracle favors and it just eats them. I kind of like that. Maybe you're a Sphinx. Sphinx of Black Courts, judge my vow. All right. And then we need a clever brute, which means, you know, what does that mean? What is a clever brute? It's going to be something And it's living. It has a good intelligence, I think. But he's strong. Interesting. A Reaver looks cool. I don't know that they're clever per se. But I guess, just play them clever, really. Owlbear's pretty baller. Although not intelligent. So maybe not. Orcs are kind of a no. Woof. Ooh. Yeah, I think I want this to be an Oni. Yeah, that sounds cool. An Oni. Okay, and then this crude toxic trap that's down here. What could that be? So yeah, maybe this is just like Sphinx pheromone. So what I'm thinking is like this Sphinx pheromone is like it's just like a smelly like secretion. This is like the bathroom. But if you walk through there, you have to make a wisdom save or become kind of like charmed by the Sphinx. So if you roll over there, he's just like, "Oh, cool, a new snack," and he eats you, and you have a hard time dealing with that. Yeah. So this is basically what you would do to generate a simple dungeon. Now, obviously, some of the issues here is like this Sphinx, this powerful creature, is not, defeating the Sphinx should not get you nothing. So you should probably roll for some treasure or give some treasure that, is bespoke to this critter. So we've got, I think the Oni is level 6. I'm going to feel like an idiot if I got that wrong, so let me double check it. Oh, it's level 7. Okay, so it's actually, both of them I think are in the same category of treasure. So we'll just roll a D100 a couple of times here to get some treasure for these nerds. 34 on this table is gold censer with hooded skeletal figure. So 70 GP gold censer. And we'll roll once for the Sphinx as well, which is a 27. Unicorn horn, 50 gold pieces. And then I'm going to roll again, but instead of rolling... So here's a little trick I do sometimes. If I I know I want a magical item, but I don't really want to pick one. I kind of want to roll randomly. Because this is a D100 table, it's relatively easy to say something like, okay, I'm going to take a D20, and I'm going to add 80 to whatever I roll. So I rolled an 83, and now I'm looking at a crystal ball worth 260 gold pieces, or 16 is a 96. It is an owl statue, one arcane eye blessing, right? So that's a way to kind of re-leverage these tables to do stuff like that for you. I don't know if that's useful. I think out of the two of those, I prefer the crystal ball. So we'll go 260 GP crystal ball. And yeah, that's kind of how this all works. What I would probably do next is figure out a random encounter table. And there's a couple of good ways to do that I will probably talk about in the next video that I make. Because I'll come back, I'm going to ink some of this and get some of it kind of fleshed out a little bit. And then when I come back in the next video, I'll talk about some of those processes. Thanks for watching. If you want to support WatcherDM, you can go to watcherdm.com or go to our Patreon or buy stuff that we've made on Itch or Drive Through RPG. I think it's okay. You'll probably like it if you get it. Otherwise, yeah, keep playing, and thanks for playing.